Welcome to the Open Great League, and in this set we are running a super fun team. As you can see, it's an ABB style team with double ghost, picking up a lead against an Azu, which is really bad. So we safe switch to our Froslass, and against the G-Fisk it's always best to go straight for the Avalanche because one Shadow Ball does not KO. You need two moves to KO it, and the G-Fisk gives us the first shield. And Harsh is going to be playing these games, and we are going to be continuing the same set that we are doing, the same series that we are going to be showing you guys the power of move counting. So he goes for a rock slide, we can tank that, and we can farm, and we can get another avalanche unless he throws. So now that he throws two rock slides, we can be very sure that he cannot reach an earthquake with the G-Fisk. We were counting his moves as well, so this can only be a rock slide, and that's absolutely fine. It hardly does no damage. And now most probably he's going to bring in the Azu, but he brings in a Deoxys, so this game is going to be all about the Haunter, because the Haunter here can do massive damage with the Shadow Ball and even fake the Sludge Bomb, right? The Sludge Bomb would probably even take out the Azu from this health. We're going straight for the Shadow Ball, no baits here. Does the opponent respect it? He does. So that's not going to connect, and this game is going to get very tight. Remember that the Deoxys got in 2 or 3 counters, so we have to overfarm to make sure that we can reach a move against the Deoxys. We are overfarming massively because we know that the Azu needs at least 4 more bubbles to get to the next Ice Beam. We throw the Shadow Ball, boom, takes down the Azu, and we reach the Shadow Ball, and we are able to win an amazing game.
Well, this was a comfortable win.
This was a comfortable win by the standards of this classy team, but it's so much fun running this team. Picking up a lead against the Sableye, which actually almost beats a whole team, but he switches to the Stunfisk, to the regular Stunfisk, and you know that the avalanches are super effective. We can throw an avalanche, we can let the move go. That's not going to do too much damage. The normal Stunfisk does not get the rock slide, and we can farm him down. We flip switch, and we also leave with a lot of loaded energy. If he brings back in the Sableye, we're going to try to see if we can reach 2 avalanches. We can't, so we're just going straight for the Shadow Ball. This would probably even KO the little Sableye, so he respects it with the shield and farms us down. The Sableye is quite loaded with energy, frankly, and this is not looking too good because Sableye beats both our mons. We are going to come in with the Haunter and go for the Shadow Punch, but he reaches a move, and for some reason the Mad Lad goes for a return, a double resisted return. The foul play would easily have KO'd the Haunter. It's super effective, but a misplay from the opponent definitely helps us out because now we can farm him down. If required, we can shield, but we don't. We are hoping that Machamp can pull this off. So in comes the Machamp, and now you'll see the true power of Machamp. In an even shielding situation, it's Machamp versus Skarmory. Skarmory with flying type moves, it's part flying type and steel type, but you'll still see how powerful Machamp is. And at this point, we can throw a cross chop, but we don't want to risk him sneaking in a move. We're just going to counter him all the way down. Machamp flexing his big arms, one more counter, and that is a good game. Again, as you can see, counting is super important. Again, in this game, the opponent definitely made a misplay by going for the return. Not that it would have changed the game because he could have only reached 2 moves anyway, but still he should have gone for better play. This is a bad matchup. We're going to safe switch to a soft counter. It's not really a counter, it's another losing matchup, but we cannot bring in the Froslass because we need the Froslass to get a line. We're going straight for the Shadow Ball. No baits. Does he call it? Boom! Does 80% damage to the bulky Galarian Stunfisk, and this is something that we were not expecting. We were also surprised to see this, and he gets so shocked that he's not even able to throw his rock slide. We farm him down, we're able to flip switch, and now it's an easy game because we have the Machamp aligned on this Scrafty, and we have the ice type on the Altaria. In comes the Scrafty, he shields there. Maybe he was expecting a Sludge Bomb because we had not revealed our Shadow Punch, so he respects it. We did have the energy for it, and now we are in a pretty good situation. We can counter down the Scrafty, but he switches out to the Altaria. We're going to keep farming. We're going to see what he throws. If he throws the Moonblast, we can just farm him all the way down. Yes, he does. This means that the Altaria will not be able to get to another move. Had he thrown the Sky Attack, we may have thrown the Avalanche, but at this point, the game is as good as done. We have 2 loaded Avalanches. He can shield one. The second one will do massive damage, and even if he KOs our Froslass, we can just come in with the Punchy Boy and just counter him down. Let's see what he does. Does he even throw He doesn't, and we reach the 3rd Avalanche. Froslass tossing around the Scrafty, but as you saw, the MVP in this match was definitely the Haunter. Flipping switch against the Galarian Stunfisk. We would have definitely lost the game if it was aligned incorrectly. So that's a 3-2 set in the first one, and now we're going to show you the second set. And The first match has not been recorded, so that's a 3-1 in the first set from that. And now we pick up a lead against Kankuni, and this is super bad. The worst possible lead. We safe switch to our Froslass. We can safe switch to either one. Both of them are good counters, and in comes another hard counter, the Bastiodon. We're going to try to make a 200 IQ play here. We are not going to throw the second Shadow Ball so that the Machamp can farm down the big like Stone Boy and get to a Rock Slide against the Togekiss, and that's exactly what we are going to do because because a flamethrower only does around what 40 to 50% of our health, or maybe 50. Let's see how much it does. It does around 45-50. That's fine, and we can just counter him all the way before he reaches a move. We're going straight for the Rock Slide because we won't even make a second move, so no real point in baiting, and we're going to bring in our Ghost Boy and look at the charms. Even though the charms are resisted and it's a triple hard counter city, in comes a Gastrodon. We're just going to throw the Shadow Ball to see how much it does, and guess what? Boom! Down goes the Gastrodon. The Haunter hits like a truck, and there's a reverse 2 shield flex for the opponent because we didn't even get a chance to use our shields. So super hard counter city. Nothing to do. Just bad luck. And like I said, you should not judge a team by when they get hard countered, because every single team in Pokemon has a hard counter team. So that's absolutely fine. Picking up the Nightmare lead, the worst possible lead, a Ghost type, and in comes the Froslass, and you'll see the power of counting. This is 4 hexes. It cannot be a Shadow Ball. You need 5 hexes for the Shadow Ball, so and hence we did not have to shield. And in comes a Medicham of all things, and the Medicham is going straight for a power up punch. This is not even a nice punch. So again guys, this is very important to count. We can easily overfarm here. Go for the Shadow Ball. Even a debuff Shadow Ball will do massive damage, as you can see. We're going to keep overfarming and throw the Avalanche before he reaches another move. Let's see if he wants to burn his shield. Yes, he does. He wants to keep alignment, and he's going to go for a pup at this point. And we could have shielded and tried to get another one off, but right now we just want shields down for the Haunter, and sadly we just are not able to get to the Avalanche. Just one turn, but that's absolutely fine. We can come in with a Punchy Boy, go for a couple of counters, get rid of the Medicham, and in comes the Jelly. Look at those hexes do massive damage on the Haunter. This is going to be a Bubble Beam, but we still have to shield this. We knew it's a Bubble Beam, but honestly we had no choice. In comes an Ariados. We throw the Shadow Ball on CMP. Does he want to respect this? This is debuffed. Boom! Just one shots the little Spidey boy, and can you imagine that a debuff Shadow Ball just takes out a little spider, and in comes the Jelly. We can go for the Shadow punches, but he just quits the game. He knows it's over, and the Haunter just pulling his weight. You can see how much damage these neutral stab Shadow Balls are doing. They're not even super effective. And picking up a Pidgeot lead. This is the Nightmare lead, the worst possible lead. We can't switch out because this is an absolute wall to the Haunter with a pure Ghost type moveset. We thought that if we bait with the cross chop, maybe we'll reach another cross chop, but as you'll see, we learned that we cannot even reach a second cross chop even though we get the shield. So it's just safer to go for the Rock Slide, and that's what we'll do from the future matchups. And he blind throws here, so we are expecting a Feather Dance because he can lower the attack and then switch out. So we are just going to keep like farming a little bit, and then we'll throw the move just to get rid of the Pidgeot. We just want the Pidgeot out of here, otherwise our Haunter has no play. This match looks really bad. Can our Haunter like pull this off somehow? Let's see. In comes a Charmer, and he switches out to his Swampert. We're going for the bait. Does he respect the Shadow Ball? Let's see. That would just one-shot him, but he does. Sadly, he does respect it, which means we have to throw another move. And since we throw this guarantees that we'll not be able to reach a move against the little the Clefable, and that is going to be another reverse 2 shield flex for us. Unfortunately, getting 2 reverse 2 shield flex, so we're not even going to shield because there's no way we can reach 2 moves against the Clefable. So a 50-50 there. Had we gone for the Shadow Ball, it's very difficult to make these calls. So that's an absolutely fine game. That's a second loss of the series. Let's get into the next match and let's see how it goes. This team is so much fun. You would not expect such a classy team to pick up wins. Another bad lead for the Machamp. We safe switch to our soft counter. Actually, it's not even a soft counter, to be honest. It's just a safe switch to the Froslass to see if he wants to respond with a like dark type or a normal type, because that's how the team works. We're going to let it go. If he wants to go for the Shadow one, but he baits with the Bone Club and he switches out to the Registeel. So the Registeel gets 2 shot by the Shadow Ball. You'll be quite surprised to see how much damage the Shadow Ball does. Even we were surprised. It does almost 45%, and he has to throw a move. The right play for the opponent would be to undercharge it, but he does not, and now it's a race. If he reaches a move, we'll shield with the Machamp and farm down, but as you'll see, we counter him down. The raw power of the Machamp coming in. We're going straight for the Rock Slide. He's already down a shield. Does he want to go down 2 shields? Yes, he does. So that's fine because at this point we can just shield the Shadow Ball if he chooses to go for it and go for the Rock Slide and KO the little Alolan Marowak. But he switches to the Shadow Swampert. We're going for the Cross Chop. We can actually just take him out with 2 Cross Chops, or we can just sack the Haunter, and that's what we're going to do. Just sack the Haunter here, and then we can like counter down the little Swampert, and that's going to be a easy game. And this is the power of Machamp. He needs 4 Mud Shots, but he gets farmed down before he can launch a move. In comes the Alolan Marowak, and since this is a normal Machamp, he can live it. Shadow Machamp would definitely take it out, and we go